Hello guys, how are you guys? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to my channel. This video is to give you guys a little bit more of background in regards to me. So I'm just gonna try to give you more information. And yeah, so I hope you're really having a good day as I am. And please don't forget to subscribe and like the video and also share it. So, growing up in Lisbon in the late 80s, early 90s, we were very fortunate to be living in Lisbon, like in the center of Lisbon, which my parents always fought for. And we had access to the best system in terms of schooling, best environment, which is also, always debatable. It's not the fact that we were brought up in the center of Lisbon that makes it better, but we just felt like it. You could be living in somewhere else and also get the best of the best in terms of environment and education. I'm just talking from my experience. Obviously, we were exposed to an environment where we were the only black family in our street. We were the only black family in our area, but we never had any issues. As kids, we only wanted to play, and we met some other kids. We had them as friends, so everything was normal. And the same thing happened when we went to school, and same thing. So a lot of times I was the only black person in my class, as my brothers as well. So I have to let you know that I am the oldest of seven, so we are a big family. Yes. And yeah, so we never really had any issues. You would just see what was at the time very factual, which is you were surrounded by neighbors or classmates or colleagues, and you were all always in minority. So, which wasn't, as I said before, a big of a deal. It was just a fact. So, growing up and doing the schooling system, so I did the high school, and at the same time that I was in high school, I was playing basketball, my favorite sport. Loved the game, and end up doing that uh, in a club close to our house. And throughout the time I did that, I was doing schooling, so I was doing going to throughout the high school years. Never was the top best student, but always knew that I had to deliver. I had to really, when the time would come, I definitely needed to, you know, show up because there was no margin for failure or mistakes because of the hard work my parents were putting in to provide us the best environment. So yeah, that was also something very, very clear from the beginning. So I did high school and end up going to the university as I wanted. But and I end up going to a public university, which used to be a bit of a big deal in Portugal because the way the system work is, so when you on your 12th years you do an average of your grades from different subjects, and then you do an SAT, and from the results of that SAT you create an overall average, which then gives you a possibility to apply for different universities. And based on that average grade, you can then get access to the best universities. And at the time, the best university used to be the public university. So that's why I'm highlighting that, because it used to be a bit of a big deal. For me, it was just another opportunity to really study and go further with my education. So uh, at the time, I had the option to do in between law and business and management. So because I was always very driven by business and always very fascinated by it, I decided doing management and public administration at that university, and instead of law. I don't regret it because I it was really interesting, and the time I had with the people I end up meeting throughout the period of the university was by far one of the best experience. I have people that I still consider friends and people that I am still friends with to this day from that experience. I was very, very good. It was an amazing experience indeed. So at the same time that I was starting the university, there was this opportunity to work and start a career. So this was in the Ministry of Justice, and for a specific area of the Ministry of Justice. So this was a probation section, so probation area. So, and the career was related to youth probation. So this was for kids that committed crimes, but not called crimes, but they were younger than 16, so from 12 to 16. And they were kept in a very specific center, and where they were and had to live abiding some very specific rules and regulations as well, and couldn't leave that center unless they had the decision of a judge. So that was also an amazing experience as a career. I was fully dedicated to it, and I worked almost 9 years as a probation officer in that segment specifically, and had amazing experience with the kids. Again, you could just see it was just lack of opportunities and exposure to not the best situations, and a lot of them just end up in that bad situations, and which brought them to justice and then end up in that in those centers. But this was an amazing experience, and still to this day, sometimes I meet people that used to be kids, then I work with them because I wasn't that old at the time. And we still talk to this day, and I still meet people from that experience, and I'm really happy that a lot of them really make it, in life, and end up really organizing their lives and had a different chance to do well. So doing that for all that period, there was an opportunity to really get up in the ladder and really upgrade to a different position. And so I end up applying for this new position also within the Ministry of Justice. And this is a different career, higher in terms of everything, and also exposure. And I end up having and applying and getting the position. And it was also as a probation officer, but for crimes committed from people for people or from people older than 16. So a wide range of people, and I had the luck to work in the center because we call this sorry, not center but team. We call this teams. I work in a team that was dealing with different sectors. So we had community service, we had prisons, we had probations in community, and so that gave me an experience to be exposed to different types of areas within the criminal justice. And so I was responsible for drafting plans. That was one of our job description, drafting plans for the court to approve for these people that committed this type of crimes. And so we were responsible of making sure that they were really abiding the rules and regulations that not only the court decided, but also we drafted for them. So this plan. So I cannot tell you guys how amazing this experience also was. It was really, it was just too much. I was exposed to, I've never been in a prison before. I end up going to prison to do interviews, talking to inmates inside the prison, talking to their families, reading and talking to all sorts of people from all backgrounds, rich or poorer, black or white, it doesn't matter, and people that did crimes and had to, but were sentenced not to a prison sentence, but the sentences in the community, so community work, and also people that were sentenced to probation. So instead of going to prison, depending on the crime they committed, the court judge decided they could go back to their lives in the community, but they had to go through this process of really repairing what they did to the community, and so they were sentenced to a probation of, doesn't matter, 1 year, 2 year, and throughout that period, me or people that used to do, myself and people like used to do this type of job will be responsible for them, quote unquote. So that was super interesting. Throughout that period in this new career, I also had the opportunity to work in a new this new scheme, this new response that they came out with, which was a response for the crime of domestic violence. So this was completely new in the country. I had the experience to do all the training. I had the experience to then apply this with the actual offenders of domestic violence. And it was new. We had a lot of challenges. People really didn't want to, participate in this courses, and but we end up doing it, and it was very interesting. A big shout out to my colleague Irene. She was really very helpful, and I think we did an amazing job, and everyone from the team Lisbon 1, Equipa Lisboa 1, big shout out to everyone there. And so yeah, and I was doing this job, this career, and I was happy with it. But then, for other reasons, I decided to stop this career. And this is from the moment I've started within the Ministry of Justice until the moment I stopped. I had almost 15 years of career within the justice system. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of my background in terms of a professional background and also family background, and we can develop a little bit more this area in the next video. I hope you like a bit of a story and get to know me a little bit better. Again, the purpose of this channel is not just my stories, but themes and subjects I will bring for discussion. But I'm just doing this introduction so you will really get to know me well, and we can start a debate knowing who you're talking to and who you're talking with, and as I always say, building a YouTube community and sharing experiences. I really want to learn with you guys. So I hope you like this story, a little bit long. Sorry about that. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it. I hope to see you guys very soon, and keep having this wonderful day. Take care, guys. Bye.